Well, good day, viewers. Today we finally have this Mazda CX9 here. It's an '07. I've ordered a computer from Flagship One, so we got the computer today. Actually, we got it a couple days ago. It's supposed to be plug and play and pre-programmed. Got a set of spark plugs and 2 ignition coils, and the intake plenum gaskets, because we have to pull the intake off. This thing has a drive transistor problem in the coil. You can see, or in the ECM, it's keeping the ignition coil turned on 100% of the time, so it's cooked 2 of the coils. Number 5, I think, this one here, and the 1 cylinder at the back under the intake. So we're going to pull the components off necessary to access the spark plugs. We're going to put a new set of plugs in it, at least 2 coils in it, and an ECM, and see how that goes. So remove the air induction system, the air filter, the battery hold down, and I'm going to move this vapor management valve or purge valve out of the way because it's kind of in the way here. The intake plenum has to come off to access this. There's the ECM back there. We may have to take the battery tray out. Yeah, I might take the battery tray out. Looks like there's bolts holding the ECM in there. But nevertheless, carry on. So I took the purge solenoid off because there's a nut underneath here. You don't have to remove the nut completely. The bracket is slotted so that it'll slide straight out once you take this bolt off the firewall. But to get at that bolt, you almost have to take the 2 nuts off the purge solenoid. I've disconnected the throttle body. I don't see any coolant lines running to it, which is unusual. But there's a brace underneath there, down here. And there's a brace at the back of the intake and a pipe back there. So I think I'm going to take the throttle body right off, just to make it easier to, well, maybe not. I'll decide. So I did take the 4 8mm bolts out of this. Well, the bolts are 6, the heads of the bolts are 8. To take the throttle body off, it's out of the way now, and get at this lower brace here. And there's one more brace back there, just above that trouble light. And a coolant line or something back here. I'm not sure if that's a fresh air line, PCV line. Goes right into the intake. And then there's a hose clamp back there for the vacuum line to the brake booster. Wow, that would be fun to change. That brake booster's way back there. So to get at that PCV hose, I think that's a PCV hose, I use a pair of these hose clamp pliers, and I think I'm going to just leave the pliers there. They're not really in my way. Leave them attached to the hose. Now we should be ready to take this out. Just take the upper bolts out of here. Take these wire clips off. So pull these push pins out of the manifold. Look at this bolt. Nothing left of it. There's 1 pin here, 1 pin here, and 1 pin here. And unclip the harness off of the manifold. Well, we're going to try and blow this off here, see if we can get these bolts out. So I knew these extractors would come in handy. So I'm going to use this one here to grab the head of the bolt because it's no longer 8mm. I got 2 of them that won't come out. Let's see if this will work on here. I think they're just conventional bolts, so we can replace these 2 bolts if I get long enough 6mm bolts. We don't have to have the 8mm head on them. Yeah, they're just conventional bolts. So that forward brace below the throttle body has a bolt down below. You have to loosen off because the manifold won't come forward with that brace in the way. I think we can just loosen it like that. So on the back of the intake manifold, underneath this hose here, I think that's PCV, is a electrical connector. I'm not sure if that's a heater or what that is, but there's an electrical connector there you have to release. And once you pull the manifold out a bit, you can get the brake booster line off. I did take the vent line off here as well. And I've got the coils out and the plugs out. These plugs are pretty worn. I wouldn't be surprised if they're original. Yeah, they have paint on the end of them, fluorescent paint. That's usually on the end of the plugs, so that in the assembly line they can see with the black light where the spark plugs are. In the days when they used to have to put plug wires on. Anyways, we're going to put new plugs in it and at least 2 new coils. I think I'll put the 2 new coils in the back. And then we're going to go ahead and change that ECM. So there's the new spark plugs. I like to put some copper never sees on the threads. That's just my opinion. I'm going to look up the torque. Well, that's pretty vague. 79 to 177 inch-pounds. 12 inch-pounds is 1 foot-pound, so I'll do the math conversion. So 177 inch-pounds is 14.75 foot-pounds, so we'll put them at 14.5. So put some dielectric grease. I'm using this Easy Slide silicone brake grease, dielectric grease. Put some dielectric grease in the boot and around the circumference of this seal here. Sorry you can't see that. So that the seal doesn't roll. You notice that some of them on the original coils had rolled. Blow the connectors out because they're full of sand. Put dielectric grease on the connectors as well. So there's the rolled boots off of the 2 coils. I salvaged the boots off of the defective coils, and like I said, dielectric grease in the tips of the coils, and then the connector, lubricate the seal, blow the dust out. So I like to vacuum That's pretty good. I'm going to wipe it off with some brake cleans. Maybe touch it up with some sandpaper. So there's the intake manifold gaskets. They are theoretically reusable, but this thing's got a couple hundred K on it, so I'm not taking a chance on that. Clean the manifold up, blow it out, and dielectric grease on these seals. I've already installed or added some dielectric grease to lubricate the nipple here. These these hoses. Don't worry about this. Seal should be okay. We'll reuse that one. Yeah, we're ready to reinstall the manifold. Reconnect this vacuum line to the brake booster here first as you're putting it in, and make sure you don't forget to hook that up. So there's the intake reinstalled. Oh, my light shut off. Make sure you put that hose on back there, the vacuum hose for the brake booster. Bracket reinstalled. These bolts are like 8 foot-pounds. I honestly didn't use a torque wrench on them. I managed to reuse those bolts. I used a tighter socket, less worn socket, and I was able to tighten them down. They're not very heavily torqued anyways. So we're going to put the throttle body back on. Got the throttle body brace down there and the brace back there installed. Yeah, I'm going to clean the throttle bore. Where is the throttle body? I'm going to clean the throttle bore and this gasket surface and put some dielectric grease on here. So there's the air induction system back together. Coils all installed. Throttle body cleaned. Vapor management valve reinstalled. Notice it's on a rubber bracket, a rubberized bracket. Now to get this computer out of here, it looks like there's a bracket that bolted and the bolts go in from the back of the bracket. So we have to take the bracket out with the computer by the looks of it. So let's disconnect the electrical. So there's the computer out of there with the bracket. It sits in like that. The two front bolts aren't bad, but this one back here is a pain in the ass. You have to get it with a long extension and a universal socket. And then you have to tip it like this to get it out. Unclip the wiring harness from the bottom. This wiring harness is clipped into the bracket. This wiring harness is clipped onto the bolt. And this wiring harness is clipped onto the bolt. So let's transfer the computer over here now and reinstall the new one. So there's a new computer installed on the bracket. There's the serial number of the computer, 33A24. There's the original one, 33A24, or the model number I should say. 750A 12A650FF. 750A 12A650FF. So I've blown out the electrical plugs, put a little bit of dielectric grease around the opening of the seal to encourage the seal to slide in there. We're going to get this computer installed. Well, I got the computer installed, but the easiest way to reach that bolt back there at the very back is reach underneath here like this with a 1/4 inch drive. So the computer's installed. Got to hook up the connectors now. So I decided to hook up booster cables before I put the battery and battery tray and everything back in. Everything's connected, so it should run if that computer is truly plug and play. I'm not sure about a security system though. Let's see if the check engine light comes on with the key. And I got a check engine light. And the key flashing. So we're going to have to do a passive anti-theft relearn by the looks of it. I don't think there was any instructions with this. So you can see in the top left there the key symbol blinking on and off, which would theoretically indicate a security key issue. See, the fuel gauge reads empty. I don't know what it read before. I think it was at very low. Okay, we're going to put the scanner. So we're going to have a look at what codes it's setting now. I imagine it's an immobilizer code. And I'm not sure if I'm going to have to get access to service programming to program this thing, but we'll find out shortly. I got the key on. Got a clean battery charger connected to it. Why is it taking so long? Why is it taking so long? Let's compare that VIN number, 6777. Yes, the VIN number is correct. So they obviously programmed the VIN in there. Let's see what we got for codes. Key on, engine not running. Wouldn't be doing this if it was running. Theft detected, engine disabled. That's what I thought. 1260. Low battery voltage at module. Low battery voltage at module. Warning indicator requested by another control module. Remote keyless receiver data does not match. Okay, let's see what we can do with this thing. Oops. Let's go into engine. Let me turn the key off. So looking around in this Snap-on Veris Edge, and it doesn't appear I have access to security. Remote keyless entry, codes, data, functional tests, actuator tests. This is somewhat like a Ford. It is basically a Ford system. So we need to do a passive anti-theft relearn. And I'm not sure if the PAT system is in the ECM, the gem module, or instrument cluster on this. No, not in the gem module. Not in the instrument cluster. Functional tests. ID registration, that isn't it. And it's not in the engine controls. Functional tests. Evap monitor. So it looks like we got to fire up a different scan tool. Am I missing something? How about under service resets and relearns? Tire pressure, idle relearn, reset fuel pump, replace door locks, see anti-theft locks, replace instrument cluster, bleed anti-lock, replace anti-lock brake traction control module, relearn seats, replace adjust yaw rate sensor, relearn anti-lock brake control module, replace relearn seat, but no replace relearn passive anti-theft. Thanks, Snap-on. Well, let's try this think tool and see what it has to offer. Auto ID the vehicle. Diagnosis. Another thing that these new tools have is a topology map when you do a scan. Advanced keyless entry equipped. How do I know? It's got a I don't know if it's advanced keyless entry. I don't even have a key fob. Oh, what's this? Well, let's assume it is. Let's do a smart scan. What's LTM? Well, it's not equipped with it. RKA's remote keyless entry. PAT's this system mismatch. Okay. PCM. Theft detected. Instrument cluster. Warning indicator requested. That's restraint control module. That's battery low voltage. Okay, let's go into keyless entry. Special function. Programmable module installation. Okay. Is it programmed to set new module configuration parameters? Please select yes if the available original RKE remote keyless entry is still installed in the vehicle. If the original module is unavailable. Well, it is still installed. Ensure that the module currently installed in the car is the old one that needs to be replaced. No, that's not what we're doing. That's not what we're doing. That's if you're changing it. I'm going to look around in here. So I'm fumbling around in here. I went into module programming, programmable module installation, and programmable parameters. Go in there. Keyless entry. No, that ain't it. Programmable module installation. So an amplifier module, remote keyless entry, restraints control, instrument cluster, and lighting control. Well, you'd think it'd be in remote keyless entry or ECM replace or something. To set new module configuration parameters. Yes. Sure, the old module is currently installed in the car, but this is if you're changing the keyless entry and you want to copy the programming from it. We're not doing that. So I thought another option is special functions. Under body, security, passive anti-theft system functions. That should be it. We'll change the status of the vehicle. If the vehicle is equipped with an advanced keyless system, pay close attention to the following. Keep the advanced key away from electronic devices. If your diagnostic tester uses a wireless LAN card, keep the advanced key away from the diagnostic tester. Otherwise, the communication between the advanced key and the keyless control module may be interrupted. So the key is on. So we got program additional card key, steering lock unit programming, customer spare key programming disable, card key code erase and program, customer spare key programming, but not a relearn in the PCM. Should be in there. Let's try into powertrain. Oh, test modes. Chassis. No. Electrical. No. Well, I got to do some more research. This is not working. So now we got the MaxiSys Elite on here. What's other? Passive anti-theft functions. Advanced keyless, yes. Program additional card key code erase, steering lock unit programming, parameter reset, that's a different one. Ignition key code erase and program. What's parameter reset do? Coded access requires retrieving a security out code from the PCM and the advanced keyless enter and exchanging the security out code for a security in code. The in code is then entered into the diagnostic tester and security access is given. Do you wish to continue? That's different. Well, I'm going to look around. So I'm going to attempt to download the software needed from Mazda. I might have a problem because this laptop has IDS installed on it, but we'll see. It's 2:18. We'll see how long this takes. So as I said, it says Mazda module programming and Ford module programming cannot be installed on the same computer. We need to install one of these to use the other. So I'm going to grab a different laptop. So it costs $50 for access for 72 hours. So I paid for that and we've ordered it. So let's get installed here. So it appears that there's a couple versions of the software, 2018 and later, and 2017 and earlier. So this is an 07. So we're going to install that. Opening in 2 minutes. So we're going to install this. Accept the terms and conditions, like I have a choice. Everybody reads that. Oh, I gotta log in. So we're installing the Mazda module programming software. So I do have the Pass-Through Pro 2, but I'm wondering if I could use the VCM 2 from Ford. That'd be interesting to see. I can use this on a GM. Why couldn't I use it on a Mazda? We'll see. Now it's updating the database. Wow. Now a reboot after the installation. So it says the pass-through has not been defined. Let's see what we can use. Pass-through manufacturer. Select the device manufacturer from the list below. Well, there is no manufacturer list. MDI2. Well, that's GM's. We'll use that. Looks like I can use that, so I'm going to connect it. Well, I'm trying to start this thing again. I've got it connected, but it won't commit. Might need drivers for this device. I have used this on this laptop before, so it should have the drivers on it, but it's not allowing me to install it. Listen to that stupid, I dropped my battery charger and the fan blade got bent inside, so I was out of balance. So I don't understand why it won't find this MDI2. It says select restart mode. If no devices are listed below, the software that was received with the pass-through device was not installed. Okay. I tried the VCM2 and it installed the drivers, but I don't have VCM2 on here. Oh, brother. So I'm going to try and install the Pass-Through Pro drivers. Accept all cookies. Pass-Through Pro installer. Download. Even these guys got advertising. Thanks, Snap-on. It's a zip file and I need WinRAR to... I don't believe this. I think that was something else I downloaded by accident. It's a zip file that I need. There should be no license required to open a zip file. No, it looks like that's a WinRAR license file. Let's try extracting it. Let's try closing it and see what happens. And to download. Alright, so it should be in my download folder now. Accept the terms and conditions. Install the file from Snap-on. Install. This is why I don't do module programming. This is just one manufacturer. Please plug in your device. I got this nag on my screen I can't get rid of. Can't close it, can't minimize it, can't blow it up. Oh well. So we installed the J2534 toolbox. I'll probably need the number off of this. Yes, I got to get the number off of it. Pass-Through Pro 2, serial number of your device. Now it looks like we have the Pass-Through Pro. Save device, see if that works. And then restart Mazda service programming. So I tried the VCM2, because it gets installed with IDS and the drivers get installed, it wouldn't work. Okay, I'm going to look around here. So it says it can only be used on Mazda vehicles. This is just like Ford IDS. The screen resolution here is not quite right. Establish an internet connection, then click confirm. I have an internet connection. Cables must not interfere with safe operation. Yes, okay. I got the key on. Advanced keyless entry is equipped. Yes, it talked to the vehicle. CX9. This is for the work order purposes. Okay, go up to the toolbox. Module programming. Click down here. Programmable module installation, module reprogramming. Let's try module reprogramming. PCM. No later calibration is available, so it's got the latest calibration in it. That's not what we want. Let's try programmable parameters. Answer back buzzer. That ain't it either. Exit. Let's try security. Patch functions. If the vehicle is equipped with an advanced key, to pay close attention, keep the card away from the electronic devices. That's exactly what the other scanner said. Program additional key, card key, code erase and program. I'm afraid to do that because you might need two. Steering lock unit programming, ignition key code erase and program. Parameter reset. Let's see what this one does. Ignition key code erase and program. I don't think I saw that in the other scan tool. Retrieving a security code from the A key module and exchanging the security out code for. I saw these same screens. Oh my gosh. Yes. To enter the following data to the manufacturer's website to obtain an in code for the following screen. I'm going to write this down. So I'm going to try this procedure here. Let's take this shot of this. This is a parameter reset. So the PCM encode. You know what? I got to read the instructions again. I know you guys are going to probably be screaming at me that I should know this, but this is the first Mazda I've had to do. Coded access requires retrieving a security outcode from the PCM and the keyless entry module and exchanging the security outcode for a security encode. The encode is then entered into the diagnostic tester. That's right, Vin. You will be required to enter the following in the manufacturer's website to obtain an encode. Did that change? 4C 731 B8AC39 and 0. So I got to get this off of the manufacturer's website. That's, oh brother. So I have to look at that, see if I can get security codes off of this. So I wonder if it's under immobilizer codes. Applies to 98 to 2002, 2001 to 2006. Codes for serial numbers are provided. Purchase subscription. Code applies to Mazda, Mazda 3, CX9. Code word. So I gotta pay for this too? To access key codes, you must be registered with the ALOA or VSV. You must be a locksmith. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm not a locksmith. I'm not registered, so that's going to be a problem. So maybe I'm not dead yet. Applies to Mazda CX9 is what we have. Immobilizer in codes for out codes are provided by purchasing subscription access to the query form on this website. Upon filling out and submitting the form, you will receive the results by email at the address specified in your Mazda service account info. The email will be sent to you approximately 15 minutes. Information you will need to provide on the form includes part number, serial number, error control number, VIN, and in and out VIN out codes. Okay, let's see what we can do. So I'm purchasing a subscription for the security codes, the in and out codes. Well, you can't copy and paste from IDS or MMS. So I'm just double checking the VIN JM3TB38Y47010677. Okay, here goes. So I did get an email response back. It says the in code, and I just did the PCM. The in code is DC99. Well, I don't know if that's going to work or not, because in this software it asks for, I don't know what I got to do, to be honest with you. And I called tech support and they said you have to call a locksmith. Okay, I'm going to look around. So I tried the parameter reset, but it requires an encode for both the vehicle, both the AKE and the advanced keyless entry and the PCM. So I'm going to try just programming an additional key, because there will be no keys programmed to this vehicle. I hope it doesn't give me a different code. Out code 0C. No, that's different. 0CB 2EF. I don't even know what I'm doing here. I'm being totally honest. This is getting so frustrating. So reading these instructions here, it says you'll be required to enter the following data in the manufacturer's website to obtain an in code for use on the following screen. Next statement says, please obtain in codes for each module by accessing the website with one out code and error control in a set with other data each time. So if I go into this process here, gaining security access, I notice that every time you do this, the out codes change. So you can't redo this, because if they send you a code and it's changed, it's not going to work. So it looks to me like you have to enter the VIN number, the part number, the serial number, and the out code for the PCM and the error control code for the PCM, send a message, then do the exact same thing for the AKE, send a message. So I'm going to try that. So this is for the PCM, the first one. Submit. Send a new request. Immobilizer code word. so let's try same. The first three numbers are the same. The AKE is 0034 EC. Zero zero 34 EC. The outcode for that 0034 EC and 4C1B9. 1B9. I hope this is right. Let me double check. 0034 EC 4C1B9. 4C1B9. Submit. Now I should get 2 separate emails in 15 minutes. Maybe not now because it's after 5 p.m. And you don't want to back out and do this again. You'll get different numbers here. And that's all change. So if you wait, you have to wait with the key on by the looks of it. Let's wait. Okay, so I got 2 emails back. So the first one's for the PCM. In code is 9898. And the second one is for the AKE. AKE 3B64. So now we go back to this screen and click yes. PCM 9898 and 3B64. Please work. Click the checkbox. Security access granted. Are you kidding me? You need 2 keys to start the vehicle if you replace the AKE. No, we didn't. We didn't replace the AKE. We just replaced the PCM. Okay, operation is successful. Click PCM. Click the checkbox. Module reset is now complete. Okay, we're going to try and start the car. Oh my God. Literally 3 bloody hours to do that. Even when I went into the service information here on Identifix, it wasn't clear as how to do that. Well, I hope this helps somebody else because this was a pain in the ass for me. So we're going to check to see if there's any codes now. Seems to be running fine. No more misfires, just a P1000 code. That's OBD2 monitors haven't run in past. Can't clear that code. So that's it for now. What an adventure. Well, tomorrow we put the drive shaft on. Thanks for watching.